Hey guys, Keegan here with some more info on the SmokeFire situation that I have personally going on that might help you at home as well. Did get in touch with Weber support after jumping through some hoops with the initial, kind of automated type of support. Finally got through to somebody in Chicago. They gave me a call back, and I've been working with them over email a little bit. Mainly checking to make sure that your software and firmware are up to date. So make sure you do any updates, obviously, which I had done, and then just went through the firebox setup as far as like the burn pot area where the pellets come down from the chute, make sure that's set up perfectly. So I did have one little minor error there that I'm going to show you, and it's essentially where the chute comes down and attaches to that plate that sits on top, making sure that, for me, that plate was misaligned by like a hair. So I don't know if it makes a huge difference or not. Just doing initial testing, I think it made some improvements, and I was having issues with like the grill starting sometimes too, just air and shutting down, and then I had to start it back up again. Essentially, I don't think the pellets were getting to where the glow plug were quite accurate enough, so I think it did fix that issue. So I think that was probably the big fix. And then have seen some minor improvements as far as the flames, how those shoot out of the box when you're ramping up temp. It still shoots out to the right side pretty massively to start out if you're ramping up temp, but then tends to even out. So I think that's an improvement too. So assuming like the computer doesn't keep crashing, I think we're kind of on a road to recovery here, I hope. And I'll show you that minor fix for me, so hopefully that might help some of you at home. Just double check these things. But that was the main point to drive home, was like make sure that firebox setup, that burn pot area, is make sure that's spot on, everything aligned perfectly. Which as you set up like one of these new grills, like I kind of probably I didn't really make any assumptions. I thought I had it set up correctly, but we're talking about like just a gnat's ass. So let me show you that, and then I'll have any more final comments. I'll wrap up with that, and then I'll be doing more testing. So planning on starting a brisket later today, and then my other plans are doing a reverse seared steak, because that was one of the reasons that I got this. I thought it'd be great for doing reverse seared steaks, so you can do it, go low and slow, ramp it up, sear the shit out of it. So I'm hoping that turns out great too. So stick with me. I'll show you this little fix that worked for me, at least improve things some, I think, and we'll continue to know as I do testing how that pans out. Okay, so we are looking at the inside of the firebox, and this is the auger, the chute, and then there's this plate right here that has two screws that attach to hold the auger chute in place. So what happened was I had this just slightly misaligned to the right. Basically, there's a lip on the outside here that I had on the inside of the box below it, so it was just slightly misaligned to the right side, perhaps like causing more issues as far as getting heat towards the right versus the left. And then also I think just not having that chute perfectly aligned with the glow plug down beneath, it was making the startup procedure sometimes not work. So I think things have definitely improved a little bit. With my testing yesterday, I ran for 8 hours, didn't have anything on the smoker, just wanted to test it, and things ran pretty good yesterday, and started it up a few times and didn't have any errors. So overall, just make sure that go through your assembly again, clean it out, vacuum it out, just meticulously look at everything, and make sure your glow plug is in the right spot, which I didn't have any issues there. It was mainly just this tiny little mistake of having things shifted slightly to the right with this plate right there. And I'll show you here, I'll put up an image of without the chute. First, you're going to see an image of it with it misaligned. So this is the image of it with it misaligned, and then the image of it after it's in the correct spot. And you can see it's a pretty little it's a small difference. So I don't know, maybe those little tiny differences make a larger difference with an engineered product such as this. So we'll see. And then you can also see here is an image of the grill starting up, and initially the flame is definitely a little more kicking out towards the right, and maybe not as bad as it was before. And then as it heats up, it seems to just kind of balance itself out and kicks out to the left and the right as it's heating up. And this is kind of when it's going full bore. Probably not such an issue when you're going low and slow, which we'll be experimenting with later today. So overall, I think we're making progress. It is a new product. I'm still hopeful. I'm not giving up hope on it. I'm not trying to send it back or anything like that. I ordered it with the intention of loving this product, and I hope that's still the case in the end. But I do want to share my trials and tribulations, just because that little tiny error, maybe that makes a pretty good sized difference in a product like this. And there's probably other people that maybe made other small errors. So I'd rebuild that firebox if you're having any issues. Just make sure everything is spot on there. And then check the software. I would hope we get notified when the new software updates somehow, whether it's when you start up the app or on the screen here, it is automatically doing updates. Hopefully that's the case, because I'm sure there's going to be software updates probably fairly often as we go through this new learning process with all these grills out there. Other than that, I think it's, I'm still hopeful. It's a nice product. I'm just going to be doing a lot of experimentation. Hopefully no more computer failures. That's like the one thing that would be kind of a drop dead for me. Like, okay, if that keeps happening, we probably would be looking at trying to send this thing back, just because, we bought this for convenience of smoking, not worried about whether something's going to fail when you walk away, go to bed at night, leave the house, go to do activities with the kids, things of that nature. So hopefully everything, continues to improve, but I am optimistic. Weber makes great products. I have a lot of other Weber products, gas grills, charcoal grills, and hopefully this is another one of those flagship products that just continues to get better. So stay with me. We'll be doing brisket probably tonight, so I should have that in a couple days, and then hope to do some reverse seared steaks and some other items, probably redo the chicken wings, things like that. So stick around. Thanks for hanging with me. We'll see you next time.